Marcus and I grew up together at the same church. I was 4 and he was 6. But I had always like loved him and he was my best friend. So I wrote him this letter, pretty much confessing my love for him. I was 17 and he was 19. I remember he would always be like, because he was a social work major at that point, he would always be like, you need to know this is how life's going to be. Like, it's gonna be really cheap. I was like, okay. One time he paid for gas with a thing of change and he was like, this is how it's going to be. I need you to know before you get committed. Like his dream was always to serve inner city, and you know, Harlem Children's Home really gave him an opportunity to live that out. Yeah, he loved it. It was in October of 2010. I was at work and he was riding his bike and someone opened their car door and hit him off his bike and you know, threw him into traffic and you know, he passed away. He died. I remember these like things, like hearing almost and seeing these things explode, and like I remember thinking, well, that's just the rest of like all our plans and all our dreams, like and yeah, it was weird how almost immediately I remember walking outside because they took me to the hospital where Marcus was, and I remember walking outside of, and it was like one of those beautiful days in October, and I remember thinking, oh, this is how the world looks without Marcus. I knew that the way my friends were taking care of me was, like, they wouldn't have been able to do that if there wasn't a God. Like, I don't think they would have been able, they wouldn't love me the way they loved me if there wasn't a God. And I felt it was something God had probably been orchestrating for years, to have that kind of support system when Marcus died. I didn't need it as much as I need it now, the relationship with God, and I didn't realize how temporary things on this earth are, even things that don't feel temporary. And it's very important to me that God isn't and never will be temporary, and it's eternal, and the things that He gives are eternal. Like, I remember thinking I would give up eternal life if it just meant 50 more years with Marcus. And like, to me, that seems, at this point in my life, that just seems so ridiculous to me. So I think back on the past 2.5 years, and it's I experienced the greatest heartache of my life, but also the greatest real, true joys. You know, even while I was in the depths of missing Marcus and grieving him, I could still experience the joy that God was giving me. I kept praying that God would show me ways He was good besides eternity, which seems pretty ridiculous because that's a pretty awesome thing by itself, but but what is good now, here on this earth? And I remember singing a song about like His creation. I was like, oh yeah, He created the earth. Like, He's good in that way. But it took me 6 months to see that. One day everything will be perfect, and I just hope people would know that